Demons fans cheer. Brayshaw back to Frost. They're playing with confidence. Tumbles it forward. It'll bounce. It's another goal. Demons fans on their feet.
Hello again from the team at Inside Melbourne. With thanks to Zurich, we're all pumped. We are ready and raring to go, Caty Price. Finals footy this Friday night, MCG, 90,000 plus versus Geelong. You ready?
Oh, ready and
Jumping out of
raring
your
to go.
skin.
Cannot wait. I will be a nervous wreck by the end of the week, I reckon. But how good. September footy is here. You can smell it in the air. We're ready to go.
Finally, we brought in one of the big guns, and it's great to see him back. He's ready to sink his teeth in. I said last week he's just ready to break Joel Selwood. Not break him, like just break him. You ready, Jack Viney?
I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Not quite break Selwood. I'll give it a crack, but pretty tough character. We'll see what happens.
Well, if you tune in on the video, he's got the hoodie on. He looks like Rocky, ready to rock in the ring.
I'm in full preparation mode. I'm ready to roll. I'm climbing those stairs, ready to reach the top. So, it's exciting times for the club, and we had main training on Saturday, and there was a massive turnout. So, it's all a bit of a buzz at the moment. Exciting times, and I think now that we've started a new week, it's kind of heads down. Start focusing on what we need to do to get the job done now.
I guess it's really twofold. Twofold in the sense that the club itself has waited a long time for finals, and then you yourself have been waiting a number of weeks to get back out there. Let's start with you first and foremost. You've been sort of held back, but now are you ready to launch? Are we ready to go? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. My mum thought she's been on my back because she reckons the timing of my comeback is pretty convenient to match up with finals, so she's on my back about it. But no, it is just a coincidence that with the injury I had, the proper rehab has got me to this point, and I'm ready to attack game day, and I'm confident in my fitness and my game readiness to go out there and perform and do the job for the team.
How is the toe? You've joined in main training to the applause of your teammates on Saturday.
Yeah, it's a bit of buzz, yeah.
Yeah, how is it feeling?
It's feeling good. It's feeling good. Probably, it has been a lot more smooth sailing than the last rehab I had for it. Even though this time was not as serious as last time, but this was just session after session we ticked the box and got on with it. Whereas last time it was do a session, something would pull up a little bit sore, and we'd probably have to 1 or 2 weeks to let it calm down. But this time was just box after box we got through it.
Does it get any not easier, but easier to deal with that sort of disappointment of missing matches? I mean, it's a hard one because it's not as if you're experienced in the area, but you are in a sense, aren't you? Like, you know how to deal with that disappointment.
Yeah, this is my 6th season now, and I still haven't played a full season. I've been injured in every one, so I feel like I'm kind of know what I need to do in rehab at this point in my career. Still hurts, still disappointing. Absolutely, you only get so long in this game, and I really, understand that and want to make the most of it. So it does hurt missing games, but it is what it is, and you've just got to get yourself right to make sure you don't miss any more.
Is there any boxes left to tick?
No, I'm back into just a normal week with the team now. So I had a little bit of a modified session on Saturday, pretty much an extended warm-up. And then some extra conditioning on the end of Saturday's session, but now I'm fully into the main group and I'll do what they do this week.
There's one thing training at top pace, but to come back into actual match play and a final no less, is there any doubt in your mind that you are ready to go at that level? Oh,
there's no doubt in my mind I'm ready to go. I'm under no illusion that I'll blow up in the first quarter, the first 5 minutes. I'll be trying to find the pace of the game, but for the full 4 quarters, I'm very confident I'll be able to sustain the energy intensity required to play at that level. So I'm really excited about the opportunity.
We mentioned it off the top, but you have had some great battles with Joel Selwood, the Geelong skipper. Do you see that being your assignment on Friday night?
I've got no idea. I mean, welcome to any role the coaches throw at me, and I've enjoyed my roles on Joel in the past. So if that gets thrown my way, I'm looking forward to the battle. He's as a competitor, and I suppose narrowing your focus to playing a one opponent and just trying to beat them. It's it makes makes game day a little bit more on edge. So I enjoy that kind of competition.
What is the challenge when you come up against Joel Selwood?
Oh, you just know he's never going to give up. So, you can never give him a metre off you, or you can never for one moment think you're on top of him, because he'll just keep fighting, keep scrapping, and obviously he's a star player in terms of athletically and his skill set. So, a lot of players have got that, but what Joel can do is he'll never give up.
That scrap and that fight, that's the way you love to play footy, though. Oh,
yeah, and that's why I like playing on him, because it's, you're both scrapping and fighting for the play, and, you might lay a tackle one another, and then you let the other person know about it, and then there's a little bit of a scuffle, love. So...
get into it.
Yeah, it's just, all that kind of stuff really excites me, as weird as that might sound, but, I enjoy those kind of battles.
How good are finals, by the way? How good is September?
I wouldn't know, mate. I haven't played in one, but
hey, all right. Well, let's talk about that. So we've spoken about Jack Viney, the fitness, all that. Let's talk about the footy club. How does the atmosphere change? Why does it feel different now?
Oh, it does feel different, because you got 2,000 people rocking up to watch you train. Yeah. That's, and I feel like we've got to. Not try and shy away from that, but also not overplay it. Just take it for what it is. And at the end of the day, come game day, it's just another game of football. So both, I think, we've got to enjoy the ride along the way, and can't shy away from it. But at the same time, we need to perform, and I feel like the group's got a really good understanding of what we need to do now to train well, and what we need to tick off to play well. So,
at the same time, we're going to speak to a former captain, James McDonald, on Inside Melbourne very, very shortly. He would appreciate what Melbourne has been through in the time since our last final in 2006. But that's all part of the narrative, isn't it? In terms of what, not just the former players, but supporters have been through as well. Those watching in the stands are going to be super excited. So you sort of have to embrace that as well. Is that fair to say?
Oh yeah, from where it's a journey. People have been part of it, and the people that have stayed part of it for 12 odd years. It's finally, you go from the dark times to now, hopefully, where we can start achieving some final success. That's what fills you with fulfillment and satisfaction, is knowing from where you've been from and are now. I think that's the whole journey, and that's what that's what gives people that sense of fulfillment and satisfaction at the end of the day.
We've got some wonderful fans that listen to Inside Melbourne, and we know how much this means to them. We've seen some amazing stories through the last couple of weeks. There was a little boy in Brisbane who got his tickets burst into tears. But there's thousands of stories like that. Are you guys aware of how much it means to the fans?
Yeah, we're very fortunate and understand the impact we can have on kids, people across Australia. So we're in such a fortunate position to be able to do that, and to be able to provide enjoyment of that level. It gives us fulfillment, and it's kind of Goody mentions it a fair bit actually about the higher purpose of what we do. We're not just athletes, but what we do is bring fulfillment to people like that kid in Brisbane you saw getting finals tickets and breaking down crying. That's the impact we can have, and that's what we need to respect.
And that was shown to the group, wasn't it?
Yeah, we got shown that footage. Peter Jackson, just same thing, mentioning the impact we have on people, and the supporters have been on the ride, and they're just as excited as what we are to delve into finals footy.
Written about in the Herald Sun today, a little motto which goes hand in hand with Norm Smith and his legacy, which has obviously been front and centre for the playing group, Esprit de Corps. Is that right? What does it all mean?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how you pronounce it. I feel like
I had
it's
a crack.
esprit de corps, but that's, I don't know. Is it like Latin or Spanish? Or
Do you
Latin?
know what?
I don't know.
Caty's the award-winning journo here, not me. Esprit de corps. I don't know. I feel as though
You're the one that's been hanging out in Europe all
I
week.
feel as
all season.
right. I feel as though if you say it with a bit of an accent, it makes it sort of
totally.
give it
We'll
more
roll with
legitimacy.
No, but I think it's
What
just,
does it embody?
It embodies Melbourne. I think the Melbourne way of doing things. It was, I think it was the motto Norm Smith used during his time, and the success. Obviously, they went through a pretty successful period, and it's all about just mateship and togetherness. Doing things together. Like a bit what I said about the journey. Like just sticking together, building things off the back of really strong relationships with your mates and brothers, and that was something Goody used. I think maybe started last year just to tie the group together. Good relation to the past. We're obviously really proud of the club's history, so it's something that's pinned up on the walls around the footy club, and we look at every day coming into the club.
Can I ask you about one of those brothers, Bernie Vince, who obviously announced his retirement in the last few days? What does that, having Bernie stand up in front of the group and sort of tell you the news? What does that sort of how does that make you feel? Obviously, watching a bloke like him who's poured his heart and soul into the footy club and potentially won't play another game and won't get the chance to play finals footy.
Yeah. Sad times. Bernie hanging up the boots. He's had such an impact on me, and I know a lot of others. I think he kind of embodies that whole, making the most of your opportunity. The kid from Stansbury, he never played first footy at school or anything like that, but presented the opportunity, and then in his second year, he obviously had to talk to, but I think he grasped the idea of, what the opportunity he had to play and have a career, and he really worked hard at that, and I got massive respect for that. And then the way he plays his football game day, it's probably the first player when we got, like just seeing him giving 110%. I probably hadn't seen or played with someone like that until we got Bernie. Just that. I still remember the game he played on Danger. Just on the edge, would do anything for the team. Like whether the coach said do this, do that. No hesitation, no questions. He's just like, I'll go do it. And he did it ferociously and on the edge, which I, personally enjoy that kind of football. So, mad respect for Bernie, what he's been able to achieve, and, very appreciative and grateful for the impact he's had on me.
There's been a lot spoken about your co-captain, Nathan Jones, and what he's been through for the past dozen years. But you've also been around for a lot of that time, for some of the dark days. How much?
Little boy.
Yeah. How much does it burn for you to play finals footy, and particularly as captain to lead this group?
Oh, it means a lot. I probably got there halfway through the journey Nathan's been on, but I still was at the club when we were getting beaten by 100 points, weeks in a row, and we're walking into the race with scarves and, being thrown on us in the race, and walking down and players are actually crying in the change rooms. That does have an impact on you, and a lasting impact. Actually thinking about it actually gets me kind of emotional because, it's dark days, but, to see where you put a lot of work in, everyone from the football club, whether it's Peter Jackson, Goody, the medical staff, like everybody just puts in so much effort to get you from that place to where you are now. So it's just exciting, reward for effort, because how much work everyone's put in, including Nathan. He's been, like a shining light for the fans in the club for so long by himself, and to be able to stick that out, no doubt he's gone through some dark times personally, and I'm sure he's loving life at the moment, knowing that he's stuck it out.
A few players obviously carrying injuries, one of them being Dom Tyson. We don't really know just yet how he'll fare. Obviously, it'll depend on what happens during the week in the lead up to the match. Another one's Dean Kent. Do you feel for these guys that, may potentially miss the opportunity to get out there and play a final?
Oh yeah, it's heartbreaking. I know Dom is crazy at the moment. You break your arm, go have surgery that night, get a plate put in the size of your forearm, and then you try and play in 2 weeks. It's pretty crazy what these guys are trying to do to get in. But yeah, at the same, that's footy.
Just how, yeah.
It just, stuff like that happens. There'll be stories like that at every club, and it's heartbreaking to know Doma and Kenty that playing some good football and the potentially that might miss out. It's heartbreaking, and I suppose provides opportunities for other people at the same time.
A few of those names obviously went around in the VFL at the weekend, one being Mitch Hannon, who played an absolute blinder. Cam Pedersen was, I think he kicked 3 or 4. This is really good to see, isn't it? I mean, the VFL team smashed the Cats by, I think, upwards of 90-odd points, if I'm right. That is terrific to see. The depth is there, and there are guys just, doing their absolute all to get into this side.
Oh yeah, we were all out there on Saturday to watch them play, and they played a terrific game. Exactly the brand of football that we want to display come Friday night. They got a chance to set the scene, and that's a positive we've had all year. As our VFL side have just performed all year. Everyone's in strong contention, and we've had our fair share of injuries this year, but we've had guys be able to come up, perform their role, play really strong football. So it's been a positive for the year that while AFL has been going pretty well, our VFL side's been equally as dominant and consistent in their performances.
You've played Geelong twice this season. We know what's happened. Do you owe them one?
Yes.
Yes. Short answer, yes. But I think every game I take every game on its own merits. I don't look too far in the past or in the future, so I won't have any kind of resentment or emotion from those 2 games. But I certainly know what they're capable of, so we won't be underestimating them, and we're going to go out there and have to perform. And even 3/4 time when we're up, we're going to know that they're a chance of coming back and they will steal it. So I think it's going to keep us on our toes for sure.
Jack Viney here with us, our guest on Inside Melbourne with Thanks to Zurich. Let's head into the outer and get some questions from our very, very loyal fans. Actually, Jack, I had one which popped up via a message here from one O Wines. Ollie's sunning himself in EOS, but I think the sort of sense I got from the message was that he wanted to wish you all the best for Friday night and for the finals campaign.
Maybe not quite in those
I'm sure
words.
it wasn't. Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't as straightforward as that. I'm sure there was a bit of joke in there or something along the way. But I appreciate it, Ollie. Hope you're enjoying yourself over in Europe, mate.
Let's get into the outer, Caty. What do we got?
All right. One footy one. Harriet asks, which player do you think will shine the most on the big final stage?
Mitch Hannon's my favourite player, and I say that to him at least once a week. So, off the back of that, I think he'll end up getting the team, and then he'll end up playing a blinder.
I love what he does as well. How was the hanger? Apparently, he took a big hanger at the VFL.
Yeah,
is he talking about it still?
No, he's a very humble character, Mitch. He won't, and that's what when I tell him he's my favourite player, he goes pretty shy. He's like, "Oh, stop it." But no, he won't be bragging about that. He'll just be going about his business like usual.
I want to ask about this. Ellie May, has everyone told you that you have great dancing skills? Oh, we've seen a bit of Jack Viney dancing work on Instagram. What's it all about, Jack?
Man, I got that from my mum.
What, Meg's been teaching you?
Oh, yeah, this is in the genes. Mum's a good dancer. So I got that from her, and whenever the music comes on, I can't help myself but have a little boogie.
Todd, not so much?
Bad.
No, I've actually never seen my dad dance, but my brother and I are into him that on my wedding night will be the first time.
Good.
Well, we better see him dance for the first time.
There's one here. Why are you so sexy? And
Who does that come from?
That's a great question.
yeah, it is a great question. Funny, it comes from Jack Viney 7.
You've been hacked, Jack.
No,
Please
it's just
tell
a
me you've
question
been
I asked
hacked.
myself on the reg.
On the reg.
Saw the opportunity there to
Please.
saw an opportunity there to have a laugh, and took it.
Let's straighten up a bit more now. Wikis 2000 says, without being biased, how far do you think we can actually go in finals?
I genuinely believe, we could go all the way. I think that's been shown by the last couple of final series with the Doggies in Richmond. Coming from the outer a little bit. So, I feel like anyone in the top 8, they're a chance of winning it. It just depends on the day, the momentum, the belief around the football club. So, I'm saying why not us at the moment.
I like it. Couple of questions here along the similar vein. Judith Nicholson and Patrick Gleeson have both asked about the experience of sitting in the coach's box. Patrick says you've had the opportunity to see the game from a different perspective. What from those experiences can you bring back to the team as a player that can help enhance the group?
I think one of the things, or the main thing I've taken out from being in the coach's box would be that it takes a long time to get stuff done from the box. You got to send the message down to the bench, then give it to the runner, then the runner's got to run out, tell the players, and the players got to tell the other players. So there's actually a bit of a process, and that takes time. So that, to me, just reinforces the importance of strong leaders on the football field, being able to recognise certain situations as they're happening, and then being able to execute certain roles or things. So that would be the number one thing, and it's just the importance on strong leaders on a football field.
Lockie Osborne asks, and thanks for your question, Lockie, what emotion did you feel rejoining the main group on Saturday just before finals? We saw the boys giving you a rousing round of applause. What was the emotion?
Just
I'd imagine it's
just happiness.
Relief,
not so much relief, but just like satisfaction on like the deepest level. You know what I mean? Like that's what I love to do, is just play football and not rehab. So when you go back in the main group and you're just back in football drills and you're back into footy stuff, that's just what fills me with happiness, because that's what I like to do. And it was a good day.
Box Sacamano, I think, has asked, has Goodwin given permission for the bull to go loose?
Yes, he has.
Good, 100%.
Yeah, and I've been caged up for a while, so I'm ready to let it go.
This is the question of the week. It comes from the Hall of Fame. Would you rather A, not play in a final, or B, spend an eternity locked in a room with Christian Petrarca? It's one you've really got to think about.
I'm willing to take one for the team.
Okay.
And I'll spend an eternity with Petrarca so I can play a final.
Good question.
Yeah, great question. One, I don't think we actually have to worry about too much. Harry Wine says board or ski. Don't worry about it, Melbourne fans.
Board for sure.
Very good. What else have we got here? We've got a fair few.
That's actually Ollie's brother.
It's brother, Harry. Yeah, so they're all getting around you.
There's quite a few questions about Sebastian, obviously.
Yeah. Dog.
About Georgie says, how does it feel that he's got more active Insta than you do?
I mean, he's a pretty cute dog, so I'm not that disappointed about it.
Okay. Well, someone also asked, Larissa Hurley said, a lot of the team have pet dogs. Do any of them have pets other than dogs?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm sure there's probably. It's probably like Aaron Vandenberg's got a ferret or something like that. Something weird.
Ferret.
Country boys and got some weird pets.
Oh, good stuff. I just love these questions as they get more random every week, don't they? Hopefully by the time we get to, deeper and deeper in the finals race, they just get more and more random. We've got time for a couple more, just one or two more. Caty, what do you got there?
Well, as you would say, Clint, straighten up a bit. Ella Ott says, who was the most supportive teammate over your time with your injury?
I mean, they've all been very supportive. Probably Petraka. As much as he's annoying and very energetic and stuff, he's also very supportive.
Loves a hug.
Very genuine, loving, caring person. So he's always been checking up on me, making sure I'm all right, whether I need a hand with anything. So yeah, big Track's been pretty good to me.
And so it's true that he's got a different handshake for each teammate?
Only a few. Yeah, he hasn't quite invested the time into making one for everyone, but yeah, there's select few players.
How do you get into that top echelon of handshakes?
Probably got to be into basketball and that kind of culture, I suppose.
Intriguing. He's just a cat, isn't he? He's a strange one, but I love him. Hey, Jack, hang around because we're going to chat to a former captain of the footy club and former club champion, James McDonald, who will join us on Inside Melbourne. With thanks to Zurich after this very, very short break. Hello again from the team at Inside Melbourne. A really special moment now because let's dip into the archive, should we say. We're going to get a former captain on the line. We've got a current captain of the footy club in Jack Viney who's joined us on this episode. But let's bring in James McDonald, former club best and fairest and captain. Junior, you've got us.
Yeah, Clint, how you going, mate?
Going very, very well. What about yourself? What's going down today? You must be relishing the prospect of the Demons back in the finals race.
Yeah, it is. There's been plenty of publicity over the last few weeks, but it's a great reward for the club over the last, I suppose, 4 or 5 years. I've put a plan together and it's all sort of heading in the right direction. And the big thing is it's a great reward for the players, but also the supporters that have, as you know, Clint, have had a long journey over the last 12 years since the last final series.
James, give us some insight into your involvement and how closely you've followed the team in the wake of leaving.
No, not just watching from afar. I know, I go along to a few games. I've got a couple of young boys, kids that follow Melbourne now, and they like going to the footy. So I'm just a supporter and a spectator, and supporting as much as I can, like everyone else.
Junior, it's Vines here, mate. I'm just curious to see how many finals that did you play during your career at the D's?
Someone asked me this the other day. I know we're under Neil Danaher. We're in the finals a bit. We're a bit up and down. We sort of had the year on, year off going there for a while. 98 was my first final series. We made a prelim that year. Got knocked out by North Melbourne.
Melbourne, yeah.
And then we went 2000. I didn't play 2000. I did my knee leading up to the finals. But then I think we played 2002, 4, 5 and 6. So we had a bit of final experience, but we never, 2000 the team made the grand final, which was fantastic. But we obviously didn't achieve the ultimate success.
Yeah, you've got any, words of advice for myself and maybe the group? We're a pretty pretty young side. Majority of us haven't even experienced finals before, so we're all pretty, going into it, pretty open-minded. But I mean, have you got anything that might help us out?
No, not really, mate. Probably the intensity goes up another level. You don't have as much time, and the intensity for the whole 4 quarters. Generally during the home and away, there might be a few lulls throughout the game, but in a final, it's the intensity's on for the whole 120 minutes. But I remember Brad Green saying when his first year at Melbourne, he ended up playing in a grand final, and he thought how good this is going to be. Playing in finals every year, but as everyone says, you're there and you're there with a shot, and you got to make the most of the opportunity because you never know. But so you can't have any regrets and can't leave anything on the table when it comes to playing in the finals.
Good. Thank you very much.
Well, there you go, Jack. You take that advice on board.
Absolutely.
But he's right. Like, there's a guy like Brad Green, another former captain of the club, stumps up in his first year, plays out of his skin against Carlton in that qualifying final where the Demons boys came back from, I think, three or so goals down at three-quarter time, win that, beat the Kangaroos, bang, you're into a grand final. But it can the opportunity can come and go very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. We're really excited. I think Jonesy's a pretty similar story. His first couple of years he played finals, and then, another 12 years later he doesn't get a shot at it. So, the point about making the most of your opportunity when you got it, I think, is pretty crucial.
Hey, Junior, who do you enjoy watching? What players?
Players who do I enjoy watching?
He's on the phone to you.
I don't have any favourites really, to be honest, mate. But I suppose back in the day, when I was still there, Nathan Jones, I've been really watched him closely because I had a relationship with him, and obviously Big Maxie Dawn, he was still there when I was there. So, I enjoy watching those blokes. I probably have a keep a close eye on them to see how they develop and watch their career come along.
What would it mean to you to see Jonesy have success in finals, knowing him and knowing what he's been through?
Yeah, I suppose he's a bit like he's a modern day Robbie Flower, isn't he, at Melbourne, where Robbie didn't taste finals success till was it his last year or two in the VFL back then. So it's just reward for persistence, I suppose. Throughout his career, he's probably questioned, what's he doing, and the club probably let him down over the time, with some decisions here and there. So, he's probably questioned whether he would have got offers to go elsewhere, but it's just to credit to him and to his character to stick it out and see it through, and hopefully he gets the full reward.
Hey, Junior, great to have you back in the fold and cheering on the D's, albeit in the stands. What are you doing with yourself at the moment, mate? What does James McDonald do for a crust, I guess?
Mate, just I was from off the farm, mate. So I'm involved in agriculture. I work for a meat exporting company and run a family farm with one of my brothers. So that keeps me active, mate, and chasing a few kids around. That keeps me busy enough at the moment.
What about Anthony? He gets his hands dirty still on the farm, does he? Can't imagine that happening.
No, mate. He's full-time getting paper cuts, working, mate, as a loan shark, mate. So he doesn't get his hands too dirty.
And will you be at the MCG Friday night?
Yeah, hopefully, mate. We're trying to get along there. I'm going with a group of friends. We're trying to go on the ballot for the MCC, mate. So if you've got any contacts for me, mate, let me know.
I'm sure someone at the club can rustle a few tickets for you, mate. Hey, thanks so much for joining us. It's really great to hear from a former club champion, a former captain of the club, and we've got Jack here. Any last words of advice for the man before he steps into battle?
Just enjoy the moment, enjoy the week, the whole build up, and just hopefully the group believes in themselves. Because watching from afar, they're as good as anyone. On their day, they can beat anyone. So they need to believe in yourself, Jack.
Will do, mate. Thanks for the advice. Appreciate it.
All the best.
Good stuff. Thanks very much to James McDonald there joining us here on Inside Melbourne. Hey, it's been an action-packed episode. We cannot wait to sink our teeth into the first final since 2006. Jack Viney, all the very best on Friday night. Mate, just reinforce how excited you are.
Pretty pumped, mate. It's all a bit of a buzz, really. Try and keep, enjoy it for what it is, which is exciting. But, a lot of buzz around the footy club and look forward to get into it.
Caty, I'll see you there in the stands.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely epic. Bring on Friday night.
Bring on Friday night. Hopefully we're here talking to you next week. Another episode of Inside Melbourne from the team. And from our great friends at Zurich, it's goodbye.